From Interior Alaska's most trusted news source, this is the Fbx Evening News.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. Day 2 of the legislative session and lawmakers are weighing in on natural gas.
Representative Mike Hawker and House Speaker Mike Chenault have pre-filed legislation calling on the Alaska Gas Line Development Corporation to implement its plan for an in-state natural gas pipeline. AGDC is a public corporation created to develop a plan for an in-state line from the North Slope to Tidewater. Chenault said, "We have talked about a gas pipeline for years and can no longer afford to wait." He said other plans such as trucking natural gas from the North Slope to Fairbanks would be a short-term fix, but that several plans are being looked at.
I haven't heard anyone specifically disagree that there shouldn't be a short-term type LNG project to Fairbanks. Fairbanks is a lot colder area, a lot more cold days, and so they use more fuel to heat their homes. And I've said it before, when they're paying more money to heat their homes than what they do to make a house payment, it should almost be criminal.
Late last week, the Fairbanks North Star Borough announced that a wood stove changeout program is now officially back on. Last night, borough officials took public comment on that and other relevant issues. Air quality officials that are a part of the program say they've been contacting those who previously applied to the program, and any qualifying resident can now apply. The program has been modified from the passing of Proposition 3, which prohibited the borough from regulating or restricting solid fuel burning devices. The issue of air quality has been one of the more hot-button subjects that have taken shape around the local jurisdiction. Reach for comment, Fairbanks North Star Borough Transportation Director Glenn Miller says they appreciate the concerns of the public on the issue.
Well, yeah, absolutely, and we're being responsive to that so that an example is as the result of Prop 3, we had to make some changes to code. We had to make some changes to the wood stove changeout program. We accomplished that, and after the changes to the ordinance and the code on the wood stove changeout program, now we're ready to operate that program.
We need more support for improving the air quality in our community. I'm hoping that more and more we can have a collective voice together to really voice concern for our kids in the community, our elders in the community, and really each of us. We're lucky we have a respite from some pretty bad air quality from the latter part of last year, and but we hope the momentum can just keep going.
Exercise activities resulted in a false alarm of gunshots at Eielson Air Force Base this afternoon. The base was on lockdown following an inaccurate report of an active shooter. The scene was secured by the 354th Fighter Wing emergency responders, and it was determined to be a false alarm as a result of a week-long exercise activity with no actual threat to the base. Normal base operations have since resumed.
Federal and state wildlife officials have drafted a special rule that could allow reintroduction of wood bison to Alaska. The U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service and Department of Fish and Game agreement would designate wood bison as a non-essential experimental population. Now that means if the bison are reintroduced, there will be no designation of land for them as critical habitat, which could affect resource development. Wildlife officials say the rule is a proposal and could change after public comment.
Local ceremonies honoring the life and legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. got underway earlier today at the Physical Fitness Center on Fort Wainwright. The Nobel Peace Prize-winning civil rights leader, who was assassinated April 4th, 1968 in Memphis, Tennessee, would have turned 84 years of age yesterday. This Monday will mark the 28th federal observance of King's birthday. The slain civil rights leader is the only Black American whose birthday is a national holiday. Reverend Lawrence Ellison of St. John's Baptist Church in South Fairbanks was the keynote speaker for today's event.
He loved his country, he loved his people, he loved his God. He never declared that freedom was just for colored people. He said freedom was for all people. Freedom wasn't just for the Negro, freedom was for everybody. And I want to forever remember that Dr. Martin Luther King was the voice that informed us. It was the life that inspired us. It was a dream that sustained us. But now it's your turn. You need to find yourself a cause. You need to find yourself a struggle. You need to find yourself a dream. Dare to dream.
Well, when we come back, part 2 of The Biggest Loser challenge to viewers.
And we talk with Fort Wainwright helicopter crews that helped with the Kuluk mission. Stay with us.
Fairbanks Evening News is brought to you by Northland Hearing Services. Better hearing with a human touch.
When you play music, what you hear determines how well you play. When I put that hearing aid in for the first time from Northland Hearing, I just couldn't believe it. I was hearing a whole new world. I kept asking people, what's that sound? My family is surprised too. I am more involved now because I can hear them better. My wife now asks me to turn the TV up. Best thing of it is, it's practically invisible and no one knows I'm wearing a hearing aid. So if you're looking for some hearing help, go to Northland Hearing. You'll be glad you did.
Thursday, with only 3 episodes of 30 Rock left, Liz and Jack go where they've never gone before. Then, Parks and Rec moves to its new time at 8:30, 7:30 Central.
This is not your table.
You said the Gergich party.
No, I said the Gingrich party.
And on The Office, enemies become brothers.
Jim and Dwight Schrupert.
And join the show the critics are loving with a new 1600 pen.
You've got such a big heart.
The doctors say dangerously so.
All new comedy Thursday here on NBC.
For the past 15 years, there's only one place I've trusted to work on my vehicles, the Napa Auto Care Centers. I know I'm in good hands throughout the year with their peace of mind warranty. My repairs are covered for 12 months or 12,000 miles at any Napa Auto Care Center nationwide. So I never have to worry about where I am or where I'm going, and I've never met a more friendly staff who can answer all my questions. My truck doesn't go anywhere else because I know and trust my Napa Auto Care Centers.
It's playoff season. Time for the best of the best to put up or shut up. And Jeans Chrysler Jeep Dodge and Ram in Fairbanks has been doing that for over 65 years. And right now, the Jeans playoff event means you win just for showing up with 0% OAC or combined rebates up to $7,500. Get on your game face and put our Chrysler Jeep Dodge and Ram trucks to the test. The Jeans Chrysler Jeep Dodge and Ram playoff event. Jeans, the official dealership of life in Alaska.
Welcome back to the Fairbanks Evening News. NBC's The Biggest Loser this season issued a challenge to get fit in the new year along with the cast. Now, last night we spoke to personal trainer Josh Gregory at the Alaska Club about his tips to maintain a healthy lifestyle. Today we look at ways to work out in the comforts of your own home.
Okay, Stephanie. So there's some easy ways to exercise at home, and you want to start from the ground up. We're going to start with the legs first. So the first exercise we're going to do is a lunge, a forward lunge. Okay? And so for the lunge, you want your body nice and straight, and you're going to take a nice big step forward and bring the back knee towards the ground, and then push all the way back up. Good. Another exercise you can do at home is if you just find a flat wall at your house, you can do a wall sit. That's going to work a lot of the leg muscles as well. So what you do there is you just want your feet at an angle here out in front of you so that when you come and sit down, you can have your legs flat like a table. You want a 90-degree bend. There you go, just like that. And then you just sit here, focus on your breathing. The longer you hold it, the more it's going to burn, which means that you're building more muscle. All right, so another muscle group that you can easily hit at home is your core, your abs. And your core, you can exercise every day. The other major muscle groups you want to hit, maybe the lower group one day, and then switch to the upper group the next day. But the core you can do every day. Another good one is called rowboats. And so for what you do there, I'll show you, and then you can join in. You're going to be flat on your back, and you're going to bring your legs up and your upper body up at the same time as if you were rowing a boat. So you're coming up and down. Okay, so Stephanie, the last exercise I'm going to show you is the push-up. Push-ups are a universal exercise that a lot of people use, and doing them properly is going to make the biggest difference. So when you do a push-up, you want to keep your body obviously as flat as you can. That's going to suck the core in as well.
These are going to be hard for me.
And your goal is you want to keep the elbows in close to your body on your way down, get close to the ground, and then push all the way back up.
Thanks so much, Josh.
Thank you. Nice job.
You kicked my butt in 5 minutes.
Oh, that's my job.
The Honor Flight Network is a nonprofit organization created to honor America's veterans. Now, with over 900 World War II veterans dying each day, time to express thanks to them is running out. Festival Fairbanks has been working with Alaska-based veterans groups and the National Honor Flight Network to form an Alaska hub for Honor Flight. This Sunday at 7 p.m. in the Antler Room of the Elks Lodge, a special fundraiser will feature a popular Irish singer-songwriter-comedian, with proceeds going towards sending more veterans to Washington, D.C. to visit memorials.
Last September, we took 4 veterans from Alaska, and we're compiling a list right now to do another trip April 18th. And so Seamus Kennedy is playing. He's an Irish singer, songwriter, folk singer. He does a wide variety of music, plus he's a very funny man. And he's doing the show to help us raise money for our Honor Flight Alaska.
Tickets are available for $25 apiece, and free tickets will be given to the first 40 active military who call 456-1984 before 5 p.m.
Crews from Fort Wainwright returned last week from the Kuluk rescue mission. We have details in this week's military report. Helicopters have proven to be essential in non-Army missions across the state of Alaska. Bravo Company of 152 have been sent on rescue missions throughout the state. This time, it was to recover grounded oil rig known as the Kuluk. CW4 Eric Collier was able to explain why these Chinooks are so helpful.
What's unique about the Sugar Bears is they have the ability to lift assets that no other helicopter in the state of Alaska can. That airframe is capable of lifting up to 25,000 pounds, and there is nothing else here in the state that can. And some of the loads that Shell Oil needed out there in order to rescue the Kuluk off the coast were in excess of 16,000 pounds.
It didn't take long for the Sugar Bears to respond to the call.
Within 24 hours from receipt of the mission, we were gone, already en route to Kodiak to assist.
The mission did not go without incident. There were some hurdles that needed to be addressed by both the pilots and the crew.
The biggest thing right off the bat was the initial hurdles of getting to Kodiak and assisting in the recovery efforts. A lot of that involved flying over water, which we don't typically do here.
The leadership trusts these soldiers with the mission.
In the back end, a lot of people focus on the pilots and think that's what makes the mission work. But the guys in the back, the crew chiefs and the flight engineers, they're the ones that are watching the load. They're the ones that rigged the load and make sure it was done properly. It goes again to show the confidence that we have in a multi-million-dollar aircraft and a high visibility mission. We leave it up to them because they are highly trained and we have the confidence in them. They're the heroes, and they're the ones that I appreciate everything they do every day to work on that proficiency.
The Military Report is brought to you by Stanley Nissan. Innovation for all.
Okay, chocked full newscast today, and you know what's going to be the icing on the cake is Joe Cook. He's got something baking.
He's literally cooking that cake up.
Absolutely. Joe Cook with sports after the break.
By the Law Office of Rita T. Alley. Peace of mind through professional legal services.
Hello, Interior Alaska. Joe Cook here in the sports seat for you on a hump day. Hope you're having a good day. The weekend is just on the horizon, but until it gets here, we have some sports for you, so let's get to it. Today is a good day for the Fairbanks Ice Dogs Hockey Club as 2 more players announce where they will be playing collegiate hockey. The Ice Dogs top scorer Devin Lowe will continue his hockey at Miami University. Lowe will be joining the Red Hawks as they enter the new National Collegiate Hockey Conference. Lowe has scored 34 points in the 35 games for the Ice Dogs. Miami is getting a clutch performer in Lowe, who has 6 game-winning goals and 6 power play goals and 4 power play assists. Steve Perry, the Ice Dogs goalie, has committed to Clarkson University in Potsdam, New York. Perry has been with Fairbanks for 3 seasons, and despite missing some games with some injuries this season, Perry has a .900 save percentage and 11 wins. Other college commits for the Ice Dogs this season are Garrett Clement to Lake Superior State, Doug Legrone to Colorado College, and Patrick Newell to St. Cloud University. Well, there comes a time in a person's life when they have to face the truth. Whether that truth is good or bad, it will be revealed and be admitted to. This week, Lance Armstrong faced his truth and admitted that he used performance-enhancing drugs. He reportedly decided to confess during the Christmas holidays. This Armstrong saga has spanned a few years with adamant denials and vicious attacks against people who spoke out against him. The World Anti-Doping Agency says that this confession alone won't be enough if Armstrong plans to do triathlons again, unless he goes under oath for even reconsideration of a lifetime ban. Ann Thompson has more on this story.
Once a hero, Lance Armstrong is now, by his own admission, a liar. The cancer survivor built his mythic image on 7 consecutive victories in the Tour de France and vehement denials that his success was helped by performance-enhancing drugs.
Have you ever in the history of this race used performance-enhancing drugs?
Absolutely not. Never. Not once. How many times do I have to say it?
When he sat down with Oprah Winfrey yesterday, Armstrong admitted he doped. A source with knowledge of the interview described it as awkward and tense. Winfrey called it difficult.
Emotional doesn't begin to describe the intensity or the difficulty that I think that he experienced in talking about some of these things.
Betsy Andrea, once part of Armstrong's inner circle with her husband Frankie, a former teammate, is one of Armstrong's most vocal critics.
There were a lot of people he hurt and a lot of people he tried to destroy.
Andrea testified under oath that she heard Armstrong admit to doping while being treated for cancer in 1996.
Lance has taken the first step, and it's a big step, but it has to be followed up with the whole, complete, unadulterated truth.
On the streets of Los Angeles, few were surprised by Armstrong's admission, but they hoped his cancer foundation would survive.
The good work that they're doing shouldn't be undone because of the actions of one person.
This week, the Justice Department is expected to decide whether to join a whistleblower lawsuit brought by Floyd Landis, an admitted doper and former teammate of Armstrong. Landis claims Armstrong defrauded the U.S. Postal Service, a team sponsor, by using performance-enhancing drugs. Silicon Valley financier Thomas Wiesel was a co-owner of the team.
The case that Floyd Landis has brought is against Lance Armstrong, but also against the team. And since Tom Wiesel owns the team, he could ultimately be culpable.
Wiesel did not return our request for comment. Sources close to the situation tell NBC News the negotiations with justice have focused on money, and Armstrong has not offered to deliver or testify against anyone else.
And that'll do it for sports tonight. Thanks for rocking with me for a little while. Check out our YouTube channel, KTVF 11 Sports, for new videos of game highlights of interior sports action. If you can't get your fill there, go to webcenter11.com and download our mobile app. And you do it so well. Stay cool, Alaska. Mike Schultz has your full weather forecast coming up next. We'll catch you next time.
All in all, not a bad day today. We have more clouds moving in. In fact, our latest radar, which I'll show you just a little bit, is showing some more snow moving our direction.
Our hump day was good.
Yeah, but the cold temperatures I talked about last night looks like it's out of the picture as far as really cold. Maybe a cold Friday night, and that's about it.
That's good.
The temperatures above zero by Martin Luther King Day, Monday.
You join us with very good news.
I
Tell
try
us more.
to spread along the good news to you, too. Speaking of temperatures, let's go out to the airport right now and see what's going on out there. We're looking at 5 degrees, cloudy skies. That's our high for the day. The overnight low, 9 below, 1934. What a year that was. 56 below the last 3 nights. We've had the coldest temperature in 1934. 52 for the record high in 2009. Sunrise this morning, 10:24. Sunset, 3:41. 5 hours and 17 minutes of beautiful sunshine, a gain of 5 minutes from yesterday. Our photograph today sent in by Tanya Watson, a frigid sunrise, and it looks very cold. Again, if you have photographed us here, by all means, send it to Mike Schultz at KTVF11.com. Here's our latest radar. As you can see, we are looking at some pockets of moisture moving our direction from the southwest. It is snowing as we speak in the Nenana area, and that's moving toward the Fairbanks area, so I wouldn't be surprised to see in the next hour or two maybe some light snow begin falling in the Fairbanks area. On our satellite and radar, you can see most of the energy once again moving off to the east, little pockets of moisture here bringing our potential snowfall, but nothing really heavy or sustained. Across the rest of the state, it's kind of sloppy over the southeastern sections. Mixed rain and snow at Juneau, rainy and windy at Ketchikan. Light snow falling around the Anchorage Bowl area, right on down to Kodiak. Up and down the west coast, partly cloudy to clear skies. Cloudy skies up on the north slope, and Fort Yukon, 9 degrees above with partly cloudy skies. Lower 48 weather tonight, pretty quiet for the most part. As you can see, we're looking at lots of sunshine over the western half of the lower 48. And then a little bit more showers across the deep south. It shows up pretty good on the satellite and radar. Again, the jet stream roaring up the eastern coast and more energy coming in from Canada. The overall jet stream for later on this weekend shows it coming across from Canada, dipping down across the Great Lakes, but a lot of dry and mild and warmer temperatures across much of the country. So it looks pretty good. Back to Alaska for tomorrow in the northern sections, flurries and colder for Barrow and Fort Yukon. It'll be sunny at Nome. Temperatures around 8 degrees at Nome, at Fort Yukon, I should say. Here in the interior, the light snow we have developing night should be slowly diminishing by afternoon, with both Fairbanks and Healy looking at mostly cloudy skies by the afternoon. Over southeast Alaska continues to be quite sloppy. Widespread rain for Juneau and rain and windy at Ketchikan. Over to the southwest, looking at mostly sunny skies for Bethel and Kodiak and isolated showers in Cold Bay. And over the south central regions, lots of snow shower activity going on for Anchorage and Homer, and 4 to 8 inches of snow expected in the Valdez area later on tonight. Okay, back to our kids' weather watch for this week. And again, we're talking to the kids from Pearl Creek Elementary School. Tonight, a young man has a question for me.
Hello, I'm Parker in Miss Keller's science class. And my question for the weatherman is, with this heat wave that's been coming by, how quickly will it drop back down to zero?
Well, like Stephanie said, we've had some ups and downs in our temperatures, and we're looking at the colder air coming in for Friday, but after that, things will warm back up again. So once again, a strange January continues. Tomorrow night, we'll have the teacher here to present a really unique weather fact for you. Here's our forecast for the remainder of the night. Once again, air quality index. Fairbanks is moderate and North Pole unhealthy for sensitive groups. Got to keep that in mind. Here's your forecast for tonight. 6 degrees below, cloudy skies, light snow, maybe an inch of snow overnight. Tomorrow's forecast, light snow diminishing, temperatures falling to 5. And the extended forecast, again, temperatures cooling off for Friday night, warming back up by Saturday, Sunday, and Monday into Tuesday. Temperatures will be rising to near 20 degrees by Tuesday. Overnight lows also rising to the 10-degree mark by Monday night into Tuesday. So all in all, not too bad. Maybe some more snow possibly on Tuesday too.
Very good. Thank you,
Thanks,
Mike.
Mike. All right, now make sure you download the new KTVF mobile app for your iPhone, iPad, or Android smartphone. Get up-to-date local news, sports, weather, and more wherever you go.
Okay, and with that will wrap up this edition of the Fairbanks Evening News. As always, we are glad you could join us.
Tonight on NBC Nightly News, the president unveils his plan to curb gun violence in America. That's next with Brian Williams. Also, remember?
Okay.
Go ahead, Mike.
I was going to say, remember, you can find all of our news, weather, and sports online at webcenter11.com.
Okay, from all of us here at the News Center, have a great night.
Good night.